You're not concerned about tight end one, Jake Ferguson, taking valuable targets away from CeeDee Lamb. So I'm going to take my favorite of the three, who is the guy I trashed on purpose to start this episode, Jake Ferguson. And then I got sniped again. It's almost like these guys watch my podcast or something.
I'm going to guess Jamie's next pick, if it falls to him, is going to be Jahan Dotson.
He's not going to fall to me, but it will be my pick because our Pete's going to auto draft.
3 of the top 4 available picks are...
Dude, and he fell to me! He fell to me!
He did come to you!
He fell to me! How did that even happen?
Because the auto picks on what it needs, and it needed a defense.
He needed a defense.
Wow! I didn't know that.
People
In
take
round
defense,
9?
not the last 2 rounds. It's a mental illness to me. I was a Taysom Hill whisperer last year. I just knew when he was going to get 40 points and plopped him in.
That's
I was
awesome.
plopping him in, playing three tight ends at one point, and I was just murdering.
Yeah, Igne or whatever. I don't know. I just went with the draft pick of that one. I have no idea who this person is.
Welcome to What Are We Talking About with Jamie Jakes. I am him, and we are here for a very special $60,000 D-Town Fantasy Football Draft, the 10th annual football draft of that kind. This is a keeper league, and we have some people who are actually drafting. Everyone who is drafting, say aye.
Aye.
And Mr. Miles Francis and Anthony Ramoz will be drafting. The buy-in to this league is $5,000. Winner take all, $60,000 for the grand champion. Everybody who is in the league is based out of Dallas, Texas, and these are the 3 that will be drafting live with us today. We also have some guests who will be commentating. They have a monitor to the right of them right there, where they will see a shared screen of the full draft board. Something that you do need to know is that this is a keeper league, and for your last draft, you get to keep one of your players, and that player takes up the corresponding draft pick of that year -1. For example, if you drafted Cooper Kupp in the 5th round, you wanted to keep him, you can keep him in the 4th round of this draft. Any questions, Spenser O'Neill, guest on the show?
Who the fuck got Cooper Kupp in the 5th?
I don't know. Is that actually a keeper or not?
Children?
I'm just talking shit. Also, thank you for swearing in the first 30 seconds of our show, Spenser O'Neill. Very professional of you.
It's easier to edit if it's in the first minute. Here's the first.
And we are going to go ahead and pull
up
rules. That draft board right here. We're starting the draft. Gina will be up next. She is not currently with us.
She just logged on.
Yeah, she is online as well.
The person not in is Titan, Taylor, and RP, who's currently set up.
Who do you think she goes first? I think she goes CMC, unless somebody already has him.
No.
If she doesn't...
Oh, you called it. You know.
Wow. Christian McCaffrey first on the board.
Pick.
Not
Justin Jefferson gone.
Not an absolutely wild pick, in my opinion. Mr. Boston,
no, I agree. CMC, exceedingly rare talent, runs, catches, and he's white. I mean, seriously.
We're a big pro fast white show here. I am.
Oh.
Anthony just found out.
I was going to say, dude.
Welcome to the Patriots.
Justin Jefferson, number 2 off the board.
Like I'm getting whichever one of these 2 next is falls to me. And I'm just waiting 40 seconds for Fiesta to make a choice.
I'm not going to lie.
If you go Kelsey on pick 4,
controversy.
I'll spit in your mouth.
Ooh. Kinky.
I had to go Kelsey.
Kinky controversy.
What
Here
a
it
waste of a
goes.
pick.
Oh, shit.
Waste of a pick.
Don't get me wrong. I'm a Kelsey believer, not a 4.
Is Fosh there?
Oh, he's there.
See, my favorite thing about the first round of the draft is figuring out who will be just auto drafting the whole time, so you can
for
really
a $5,000 buy-in league.
Interesting.
Wow.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
I don't think that's that crazy. It's a two wide receiver league, so that will bump up the value.
Are you taking Kelsey? Are you actually taking Kelsey?
No. I'm debating. My debate's between Stephon Diggs and Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
Ooh.
But I'll be honest, none of my fantasy mocks went this way.
Mocking. Fantasy
I
mocks
still
are
want to comment on the
useless.
Austin Eckler pick. I love Austin Eckler, but I loved him 4 years ago confidently. every year moving forward with Austin Eckler is
he's just been like first, second, and third every year. So I can see why you wouldn't like him.
I mean, fair. He's doing it. He's still doing it. But
every year.
Is it crazy to just be a Viking fan and think he can't keep doing that? Can he?
Yeah, no, it's not.
He can.
Yeah,
He is.
I mean, okay, the Chargers are only improving. I think they are going to be a very good challenge to the Philadelphia Eagles in the next Super Bowl.
We got to beat the Chiefs first.
there you go. It's 27 seconds,
Yeah,
dude.
man. It's honestly, to me, it's a toss-up. And
He's really
Who's
stewing
the
on
better
this
quarterback?
decision.
There you go. That's the better
And there
decision.
goes Stephon Diggs. Asked for a trade
CeeDee Lamb
2
or
weeks
A.J.
ago.
Brown, but
Was pissed in
They're all in
preseason.
the same
Stephon Diggs.
category.
True.
He
this
just
early on.
just got in a fight. He just slammed his helmet
Joe
in the.
Mixon was a reach.
Ooh, Joe Mixon.
Smoking Joe.
Going too.
Ashley, so you guys don't know there are a lot of very free thinkers in this fantasy football league.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying.
And they were thinking Chase Brown's going to take over midway through the year, so I might as well get him early.
Ashley is an orphan from a last league. I am impressed that Justin. I texted him 2 hours before the draft
Tyreek
started.
Hill and Cooper Kupp. Holy fuck.
Who's that?
Jay Means.
Jeff Means.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
He has Tyreek Hill and
He's
Cooper
got
Kupp.
two
Man,
elite wide receivers.
Oh, I
Two
see
of the
what you
top
mean.
4 wide receivers.
Here's the problem with those two elites this year is they don't have quarterbacks. They got one guy that's going to trip and fall and be out for the season.
Oh boy.
And then you got Matthew Stafford, who I love, just
Nick
fell
Chubb is
fell
gone.
off a cliff.
I will fucking bet the rent that I know exactly who you're about to fucking pay.
Bijan Robinson?
Yep.
Yep, that is who exactly I am going to take.
There goes Kelsey.
I
That was
love
on an auto pick.
Bijan Robinson.
He was 85.
Yeah.
Like, he's been sitting there for.
So Ryan, police officer, probably catching bad guys right
Kelsey
now.
with CeeD Lamb still on the board is insane to me.
Yeah.
CeeDee Lamb.
He's the only one on auto.
You're a fan of CeeDee Lamb, really?
I just think, with Brandon Cooks being what he is, all the reports about him, he actually is good. I think it's going to open up CeeDee Lamb.
You're not concerned about tight end 1, Jake Ferguson, taking valuable targets away from CeeDee Lamb?
If CeeDee Lamb can get around the 5 interceptions a game that Dak's going to throw, I think CeeDee's going to be great.
Yeah, I'm not as big a fan of CeeDee Lamb just based off of the situation that's
what?
I'm
That's
over to
going
A.J.
on
Brown.
over there.
A.J. Brown was on the board.
I did not expect this guy to still be here. Hold
Oh,
on.
is this you?
I didn't-
A.J. Brown. Yeah, I would have went A.J. Brown.
I
over-
did not expect him to still be on the board, to be honest.
I think that was a really good pick, actually. Especially already having Herbert at 2, and you're skipped over now, so
Yeah.
now your opinions are irrelevant.
I think that's pretty sad. That's what I was worried about right there as my first pick. Because I was looking at mock drafts and I was like, I might have to take Devontae Adams.
Well, that's what happens
Oh, you
when
got
Joe Mixon
sniped.
goes in
I know
top
you're a big
6.
Garrett Wilson fan.
Yep, I did just get sniped.
By the auto draft, too. That's the worst part.
By the auto draft. I am a big known Garrett Wilson shill.
Yes,
I
you
think
are.
he will be wide receiver 1 this year. I've seen enough. I've seen all I had to
You
see.
think Aaron Rodgers is going to deliver him that football, huh?
Oh yeah, he in the preseason game that they played in targeted him on I think literally over 50% of his throws. I am gonna take Josh Jacobs
Oh
here.
no, I was gonna say I thought you were about to take Josh Allen. Josh Jacobs is a good pick.
Nope, I'm gonna take Josh Jacobs. He just re-signed with the Vegas
which
Raiders.
pissed me off because he was gonna be my keeper, but
We set keepers a week ago. You didn't know at the
I
time
didn't
for
know
sure.
if he was still gonna play for the Raiders or not, which is a fucking still dumb of me to not do. But I kept Herbert instead,
best
which
thing
I'm
about-
not mad about
The
it.
best thing about Josh Jacobs as well is it's another one of those Jimmy Garoppolo's going to trip and fall. And
Yeah, exactly.
Aiden O'Connell's going to be the next great thing.
Yeah,
for
no,
the
exactly.
Raiders.
No, they're gonna be running the shit out of Josh Jacobs.
He's
That's
got-
a good pick.
he's
Yeah.
our- he's
By
our-
the way, I went running back for the first 2. I do have Chris Olave as my keeper in this league, so you'd have to keep that in mind.
I think that's a really good pick. I was going to talk shit after you got sniped with Garrett Wilson, though, because you have to remember auto pick. I mean, yeah, Travis Kelce's a good talent to have at tight end, being, tight end number 1.
Pollard.
But having Travis Kelce, Garrett Wilson, and then
Tony Pollard was taken on Justin Stitt's team, so he's got Nick Chubb and Tony Pollard. I I don't know if the Cowboys are going to get a backup running back there. It doesn't feel like it at the time. So that's a frightening line. Gina just drafted. So she had the 1.1, right? So she has Christian McCaffrey and Jonathan Taylor could easily be running back 1 and 2 on the season, especially after Jonathan Taylor gets traded to the Eagles for a second, third, and conditional next year second round pick based on his performance and how much he's used this year for the Philadelphia Eagles. Or maybe like a 25% chance he ends up on Miami.
So, yeah, I think he might more likely end up in Miami. Pollard went, Josh Allen, Cooper Kupp, Devontae Adams, DK Metcalf, Hurts, and then we got plugged with Jonathan Taylor, Lamar Jackson, and then St. Brown, and then Ramondre Stevenson.
There goes Travis.
And Miles Francis takes ETN, my probably top bust pick for this season. Yeah, I am very concerned about. You can turn the mic on so Miles can talk to me. I am very concerned about Tank Bigsby. This organization has virtually no ties to ETN. He was drafted with a first-round draft capital, but they are glowingly talking about Bigsby, Travis Etienne not produced through the air. This is a full PPR, full point per first down league, so you do have to keep that in mind. That's for rushing and receiving first downs. I think Tank Bigsby is slowly going to take over that backfield. You do have Damian Pierce as your keeper, so you have Etienne, Pierce, two guys I'm kind of, reserved about in my ceiling for them. And I do love your first two picks, though, and Stephon Diggs and taking Devontae Adams.
I want to comment really quick on Miles with ETN, because I know he has bulked up this offseason. That's always something to be positive about with a running back, especially. Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you're good.
Sorry, I crazy picked
but the crazy thing to me with that situation at running back.
Sorry, Trevor Lawrence just went up.
Yeah, that's what we were all reacting to. Go ahead and finish, Caleb.
There's a lot of handcuffing in running backs, setting your system that way. So like I'm excited for that pairing of running backs. Like I know, and I'm completely open to Jacksonville being maybe a business for once and their fucking talent they have and exploring trade options.
Yeah.
Dude, what the fuck was that Trevor Lawrence pick?
And hold on. And to wrap up ETN in real life, obviously Jacksonville offense, very exciting to be about. They have two premium running backs, I think, and the talent they have in rookie Tank Bigsby, who ran for Auburn where he had no offensive line blocking for him and he still produced extremely well. But in fantasy wise, it's like you need opportunity. You can't just have just talent. And for that reason, I don't love the ETN pick there. But yes, somebody took Trevor Lawrence early
3-5
early in the third round, and Jeff was doing extremely well. I love Trevor Lawrence as a fantasy asset, but he's not going to be as mobile as you would like him. And then I got fucking sniped again. God damn it! My favorite pick in the second round, Garrett Wilson, got sniped from me. My favorite pick in the third round, Mark Andrews, got sniped from me. It's almost like these guys watch my podcast or something. But I wish, yeah. If you look at my numbers,
27 subscribers. Let's be honest.
If you 28, watch your fucking mouth. But if you do look into my numbers, you'll probably tell pretty quickly that
Miles, you're a dick.
But anyways, there is a guy here that did fall to me. I am gonna go full high T, triple running back, Jahmyr Gibbs, basically a wide receiver.
He just leaned in and he was like, "Watch this." So I was like, "No!"
If
I
you
was
thought
so
Jamar
conflicted.
Gibbs was getting past him, you haven't been in any drafts. So far.
Yeah.
True.
I think Jahmyr Gibbs, even when I have two running backs to start, I have one more flex spot to fill, so that'll be Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs, I think, has the same ceiling as Bijan Robinson, who I forgot already that I took in the first round. So I have both superstar, high hype running back rookies for this
Double
year.
rookie.
And Josh Jacobs. Hey, I think you and I, Spencer, talked about this, and it's something that we kind of vary on greatly in terms of the reason behind the picks that we make is I think I go swing for the fences every single time. I'm home run derby, where you will mix in some safer, higher floor guys throughout your lineup.
I call it money balling.
Yeah, I'm swinging for the fences.
Might be a dumb pick, but I believe in it.
Anthony Ramos is going to take Deebo Samuel, another guy who's definitely on my bust list for where you're taking him at 3.11.
You think he's gonna bust? I had to hit for Miles.
I don't think he's a third round pick. I think Deebo Samuel's really good, but they stopped utilizing him the way Deebo Samuel's made him elite. So
Yes,
then he
as
no
a
longer.
fantasy asset.
Yes.
I think he still holds a lot of water in terms of his playability in any scheme, no matter who's the quarterback.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can see them trying to implement it because right now, especially with that whole Trey Lance being shipped to Dallas, Sam Darnold taking number 2 spot, somebody like Brock Purdy obviously solidified their role as I deserve to be the starter for this franchise. But yeah, I mean the fact that they do have somebody like Deebo who is still probably being underutilized, they're gonna look at that. They have
Sure,
to
but
because
T.
he's
Higgins was still on the board.
he's
That's
a
the
number
difference.
2. He's a
I
number
don't like
2, and I
drafting
don't know
number
that he's.
twos.
Yeah,
That's why I don't like Waddle.
I'm a huge number 2 fan. Juju Smith when Antonio
Are
Brown
you the
was
reason?
I don't like that. I don't like number 2 wide receivers. That's why I don't like drafting Waddle early on in the third round. That's why I don't like drafting T. Higgins early in the third.
Yeah, to your point,
He's
like
last,
I don't want to draft T. Higgins because he's going next to Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Which is if he was a number 2 somewhere else, then obviously he's not going to be
And you're on the clock.
Yeah, and for
311,
that
but-
same reason why I don't
he's
like
still there.
for that
Happy.
turn his microphone off. For that reason, I
JB, you're
I'm sorry. Trying to get a hold of this $60,000 on the line, and I'm trying to finish this promo on wide receiver 2s. I don't like Jalen Waddle as a wide receiver 2. I don't like drafting T. Higgins because he's a wide receiver 2, and I don't like drafting Calvin Ridley because he might be the wide receiver 2 over there in Jacksonville.
I'm just concerned about his touches.
Yeah, I think Dalvin Cook will be the bell cow in that backfield, but I respect it. And I absolutely love who fell to me here. Mr. Keenan Allen, hamstrings intact going into the season. I got Chris Olave, Keenan Allen, Brian Robinson, Josh Jacobs as my starting running backs and wide receivers. And now I have Jahmyr Gibbs as my flex. I'm really excited. This is the hype boy draft that I was really looking for. These are the hype guys, and they all absolutely fell to me, other than Mark Andrews and Garrett Wilson, which I'm honestly kind of like because it makes this draft unique to me, and I like having unique drafts. I don't like having the same team on everybody. You can talk again, Anthony.
Thank you for your permission, Massa. No, I'm just saying, based on my mock drafts, this is completely different from what the fuck I had.
You got that response twice.
I just got snapped.
Yeah, with them, especially with this league, there are a lot of free thinkers, like I said, so there will be some wild picks. Any wild picks stand out to you? Andrew Hoang sitting in the corner, also a guest on this show.
Someone took Jerry Jeudy in the 4th, which is insane. That's an
tell me
insane
about
pick.
why.
It was auto picked though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that is also the thing that there is auto pick involved in a lot of these picks.
Do you want to trade me spots and come be able to see it better over here?
Oh, I'm okay.
Yeah, Jalen Waddle that early is pretty wild, but that is where his ADP is, and that's why he was auto drafted there. It's just solely based off of ADP. Any other picks stand out to you? Any what's your favorite pick of this draft? Do you think, Andrew, in the first 3 rounds, maybe?
I am a huge fan of just the Bijan Robinson.
Thank you.
I just think he has double-digit touchdown potential, 600 receiving yards, 40 to 60 catches. I mean, that's just free money.
All I needed to see was that run, the one run he basically got where it should have been a 5-yard loss. He took it for if it was Saints running back Kendre Miller, he would have gotten tackled in the backfield, but he took it right up the gut and took it for 15 yards. And it is an extremely explosive Atlanta Falcons offense in terms of the run. They are a running offense. They're a run first offense, and that's why I just feel really, really good about Bijan. I haven't really gotten him outside of best ball as much as I would absolutely like, but I love it where I got him.
I didn't want to accidentally.
The people still taking Kyle Pitts I don't get it.
Yeah, I think there is a contingent of people who will not let go of their priors in the fantasy football community. And especially with the dynasty leagues creeping in, people are just get obsessed with guys that they pick. And they can't just be like, I was wrong on this guy. And I think that's what we're kind of seeing with Kyle Pitts going that early.
So you're out on Kyle Pitts then?
Yeah.
I don't see why you wouldn't be at this point. I'm speaking from a position of having had Irv Smith Jr. on my team, and I thought this motherfucker was about to be not real. And he's totally he's a real dude. Like, he is not as freak of an athlete as he looks like he is. He's just so brittle.
At least in Atlanta, you can't be excited about Kyle Pitts because, like I said, the reason we like the Bijan pick in the first round, in the mid first round there, is because they are a run first offense. They're number 1 rushing offense in the league. So why wouldn't you want the running back instead of the tight end, who will be, wide receiver number 3 or 4 there?
I have to shit on Miles' most recent pick, and I want to know if anybody agrees with me. The Christian Watson pick, I think the hype from last year was 100% Aaron Rodgers. I don't think Jordan Love is going to recreate what Christian Watson had. And he drops the balls like a motherfucker.
I almost entirely wholeheartedly disagree with you. I think
he's going to be the same.
I ironically had to keep Olave this year, and I had to keep Olave this year because of just the value I got where I get to keep him. And now I'm on the clock.
Hey, hold on, wait.
Really?
5'7". Jamar Chase just went at 5'7".
Why is T. Higgins ADP over, or did someone just love?
I think Chase
I don't
was a
understand
keeper.
why he was ADP ranked higher than Jameer.
Was Jamar Chase?
Yeah, Chase was the keeper. Yeah.
Oh shit! Okay,
We're doing it. The draft is a.
last year.
he was a rookie.
Yeah, so that's been a keeper from.
Good fucking keeper.
Yeah,
What the fuck
that's the most overpowered keeper in the league, probably.
is that?
No, last
So
year
I'm
was
scrolling down.
He's actually been drafting pretty well. He's got Pollard and Chubb. I don't know. And he got your favorite 3rd round pick.
Hey, RIP to the team that had TJ Hawkinson as their fucking keeper, by the way.
Yeah, that's the 5th round pick.
But going back to Christian Watson,
Yes.
he led the league by far, number 1 fantasy wide receiver in points, half PPR, in points per route run. He had a lot of injuries, especially in the preseason, trying to get a chemistry with Aaron Rodgers. He was Aaron Rodgers' number 1 target when he was on the field. I think he does have that freak athleticism that will be able to get you, 7-point plays, 12-point plays, really far touchdown catches. Aaron Rodgers had a broken thumb last year in his throwing hand. He was very inaccurate. He was, I think, QB 31 last season in QBR passer rating. He was very, very low down. So if Jordan Love is what I expect him to be, which I think he's going to be great, I think Christian Watson can outperform a guy like Chris Olave, who's being drafted way, way before him. I've been getting Christian Watson as much as I can. He didn't fall to me in the right spot in this draft, but I love Christian Watson and his prospect going forward because he's a guy who's going to get technically a downgrade in quarterback, but the quarterback play is going to increase based on what we saw last season because Aaron Rodgers had a horrible season last season.
With his skill set, he just has such high double-digit touchdown potential.
Yeah.
He's not going to catch 90 balls.
Yep.
But 70 and 12, that's easily on the table.
He didn't pass the eyeball test for me. I think.
Really?
I think without Aaron Rodgers, he's going to be. It was all downfield. It was all long.
This is
All his stuff last year was long.
He scored a
and
touchdown.
I don't think Jordan Love has that yet.
Actually,
maybe he will, but I don't think he will.
I think he
in
scored
his
half
first
his
starting
touchdowns
season.
from short, like drags, curls, couple reverses. They weren't all deep balls.
Dobbs is really the underrated deep threat on the roster right now.
Yeah, I think Dobbs is going to be, in my opinion, a better value where you get him.
Oh,
than
I
Christian
agree,
Watson.
but I think they're both going to be great values because I think a lot of what we're seeing in ADP right now for the Packers is anticipating a very poor quarterback, and I think Jordan Love is going to be an above average quarterback in that 12 to 13 range in terms of QBR this season. I think he's going to be good.
See, I'm
for the
very
Packers.
excited. I'm very excited for the Packers this year just because it's that kind of changing of the guard situation where they've only had 2 quarterbacks the last fucking 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is the first time in my life watching the NFL where I've ever seen a quarterback actually have time put into them to be developed. So I'm going to be able to see for the first season in my life, a true rookie out for an organization trying their hardest versus someone who, they've been there for a few years. You just don't have a whole lot of a sample size from them. I think Christian Watson and Dobbs have a great season. I think Christian Watson's going to see for the first time in his career true stability. And this is where we're going to see, that chemistry in 2 young athletes for an organization just really find each other and I mean are probably more successful for the same fact Jamie was saying, where everyone's expecting such a heavy hit at QB1 when it might not be as bad. We don't know yet.
Am I know I'm high, but like, is Evan Ingram at 5'12" fucking weird to anybody else?
Yeah.
Alvin Kamara, even though he's suspended.
Because, like, dude, if you're going to go with tight ends, like, right now, around this area,
That's a
why
desperation move.
didn't Darren Waller go before
And
Evan
he just
Ingram?
went. Good call,
Yeah,
Anthony.
yeah.
Oh, you just drafted him.
I just drafted him, yeah.
I love Darren Waller. Like you said, he will be probably the number one target there.
Yeah.
TJ Hawkinson has to compete now with Jordan Addison, with obviously Justin Jefferson, with KJ Osborne, who at least one person in this room think is a good wide
I
receiver.
can tell you this. I had...
Give him the microphone.
Yeah, I had Darren Waller on my fantasy team last year in this league, and he actually performed pretty well, even when having Devontae Adams like in the field too. So I really feel like Darren Waller is gonna have a big year on the Giants. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. JK and Cam just went.
I don't like either of those picks. I mean,
Ew.
I don't like J.K. Dobbins for obvious reasons. Cam Akers is a high risk pick.
Yes.
I don't think that offense is going to score quite as many points. And if they do score points, I think it's going to be through Cooper Kupp instead of Cam Akers. And I'm just going to have to take another like value pick here, but it's just like, what value am I going to take? Because there's so many juicy values that I'm just staring right in my face, right? Just looking at me right in the face. And I think I'm going to have to take, it's point per first down. It's point per reception. It's a high scoring league. So I got to go with the high volume guy, right? And that's not going to be James Conner because Arizona stinks.
Boo. Boo, Arizona.
It's going to be...
That fan base needs to be shit on more, by the way. They've never been good and they still talk shit.
I'm going to take a bet against JSN, and I'm going to take Tyler Lockett to be wide receiver 1 in Seattle for the like 5th or 6th or 7th consecutive year. DK Metcalf has never outperformed him. Doesn't make sense why DK Metcalf goes where he does in drafts. He got drafted at 210 in this draft, and he has never outperformed Tyler Lockett in any format of fantasy football. So I have a solid group of 4 wide receivers and 3 running backs. With my Chris Olave keeper not even in effect yet in round 8. So I have not taken a tight end. I have not taken a quarterback yet, but I'm feeling extremely good with the values where I got them. I can take on an injury or two and still be chugging along. And there goes Deshaun Watson.
DTR?
At the 6.6. Yeah, soon to be DTR's backup, hopefully as soon as possible, honestly. I am not a big fan of how Deshaun has looked in preseason. That being said, I think he'll be a valuable fantasy football asset where he goes in drafts just because of how much he's going to run, because he won't throw the football. He just hangs on to it and he wants to run. And so for that reason, he'll be valuable in fantasy football, maybe not so much in real life.
Are you still high on Amari Cooper this year?
Yep, still high on Amari Cooper. Based on what I've seen out of Deshaun, I've cooled off significantly on Elijah Moore in the preseason, even though he has gotten some good targets. I think Amari Cooper is just going to be like that level of wide receiver that no matter who's throwing the ball, unless it's Dak Prescott, he will perform extremely well. And even when, honestly, I'm obviously joking, he performed well with Dak Prescott too. Let's not get it twisted. But I am still high on Amari Cooper. Is he still on the board? Andrew, have you seen where Amari Cooper? Yeah, he went in the 4-6. So yeah, I chose to take Keenan Allen right before him, and kind of for that reason, I would almost at this point consider taking DJ Moore before Amari Cooper at this point, where just how I'm looking at that Cleveland Browns offense. I don't think Deshaun really is going to have it going forward. And Miles is really stewing on this decision.
They just got sniped. I was going to take Pacheco.
That would have been good.
I think you got saved.
Yeah, I don't like Pacheco.
I'll never take a Kansas City running back.
Yeah, it's really difficult to commit
I learned
to
my
one of
mistake by
those.
drafting CEH 1.
Yep.
Or no, I traded 2 firsts for him.
Traded 2 firsts for him. Probably will go undrafted in this draft. CEH, Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
This was like his first year I traded. It was year 1 when
There was a lot
That
of
was a
reasons to be
good
excited,
value.
and that's why fantasy football is so hard.
I took Jonathan Taylor 1, and then I traded for CEH, and then traded CEH, and I think I got a good value for him. I can't remember who exactly. I think I got Deebo Samuels during his good year.
Yeah, the year he was, I think, number 2 wide receiver in the league because he was getting handoffs.
He was also a running back.
Yeah, he was like the number 1. He was like the best running back quietly the best running back in the NFL that year, and he
15
only got
seconds
like
left.
They extended him before they traded for McCaffrey, right?
Correct.
Debo?
Correct.
Okay. See, that's why I still find a big value in him. I mean, I don't
8
think he's
seconds
anybody
for
to
Miles
write off.
Francis. Who did he take? Panic.
Pittman?
He took Michael Pittman, who will be probably the wide receiver
will.
one for Indianapolis.
Yep.
With a guy who probably can't throw the ball very well yet. He has a fucking cannon for
He
an arm.
does. What a
He
freak.
will. Oh my God! Talk about a freak, Anthony Richardson, who we're talking about for the Indianapolis Colts. Probably will have a decent fantasy season
yeah.
for his rookie season, just because he's going to run for probably an average of 95 yards and score 3 touchdowns every single game. His accuracy is going to take a while to kick in, but his arm is so powerful that he, without a doubt, and he just went off the board.
Yep. I was going to say he's one of my favorite, I mean, quote unquote,
Gina
sleeper.
just took her second quarterback.
Wow, both very
Lamar
similar play
Jackson,
styles.
Anthony Richardson, probably 2, including Justin Fields, 2 of the top 3 most athletic running
This is-
quarterbacks in the league.
Pretty. I think she might be playing for like keeper next year with that. Right.
I still don't think that'll be a good value for
I do
where
think
he'll
that's
go.
I
He'll
do think
probably-
that's early.
This is not a super flex league, right?
No. Not
Yeah.
a super flex. 1 quarterback, I think just 1 flex spot.
That's rich. That's kind of a poor pick then.
Yeah.
It's early. But
That was an early pick too.
I
with Pat
I
Freiermuth.
love Anthony Richardson this season just because, I mean, he's athletic. I don't pay attention to college football as much as I wish I did. So, especially combine videos, I pay a lot of attention to because then that's when I get to put a lot of emphasis on like what I think I find value and talent on. Like a Dallas Cowboys owner and general manager, Jerry Jones, despite any criminal convictions. But yeah, no, I think Anthony Richardson, he was pointed out to me by my buddy Chris. He was like, dude, this guy setting combine records. Just wait.
On me or not?
No, it's
No,
not
it's
on
on
you.
Brian
You also do have to keep in mind that
That was-
guys like Lamar Jackson didn't do the combine, so that
Yeah,
best
true.
combine performance of all time is a little bit tainted in some ways.
True.
But yeah, I think Anthony Richardson, maybe not great in real life. I think he'll be fine in
Hey.
fantasy for where you're getting him. But Gina does not have a flex position yet. So I have like 2 backup flexes where I'm at. I don't have a quarterback or tight end obviously yet.
Yep.
But she doesn't have a flex yet. And she took Pat Freiermuth and Anthony Richardson
Yikes.
when there is a lot of really, really good high level picks that she could have taken to fill up that flex spot. So strategy wise, I don't love that for Gina, but where she got Anthony Richardson, I don't mind it too much.
Okay.
This is also a 6-point passing touchdown league, -3 for interceptions. So it will,
Heavily penalized.
if
This one going too.
Oh, he's double drafting over here.
I am.
So this is not a Jameis Winston friendly league, apparently.
no, this is not a Jameis Winston, and that is my argument for 6-point passing touchdown, which you introduced me to. To be fair, Andrew, give me your take on 6-point passing touchdown leagues.
I think it's absolutely absurd in fantasy leagues for running backs to be considered the most prized players because in real football, quarterbacks are where it's at. A touchdown is a touchdown, regardless of how many someone they score, how easy they scored, whatever. I think all touchdowns should be 6 points.
Yeah, and I'm. That's why I like point per first down more than you want to show me what you have in your fantasy league.
Yeah, Anthony has a question for picking
take
third in
Cooper
the
Kupp.
first round if he
10
should take
times out
Cooper
of
Kupp
10.
or Tyreek Hill.
1-3. I think Cooper Kupp.
Wait, is Christian McCaffrey available?
Yes.
Is it a two wide receiver league?
I'm not too sure. I think it's a two receiver. I'm gonna go Cooper Kupp.
That's fine. Either or, they're interchangeable. I'd probably take CMC if it's a 2 wide receiver league. I'd probably take CMC, but it's fine either way. He's going to be
You're still
he's
going to
gonna be
get
a
your
monster.
points. You are going to get your points.
I don't know shit about that.
Miles Francis again down to 10 seconds to pick.
He is doing a lot of research. I want to give him. I mean, I know that y'all can see that as well in the video, but
It's not letting me take it.
What did you want?
Dalvin Cook.
Okay, let me pause. Let me see if I can pause the draft.
Yeah, I was.
He was. I was. I witnessed. He was pressing the button, and I was agreeing with it.
Uh-oh.
We have it on camera.
Yeah, it's weird that you might have had to restart.
Yeah, I think
The
it
app
is.
gets behind, so the app probably thinks you're a
I
pick
think this
behind.
might be a receiver dominated league right here.
Put him in your queue, Dalvin Cook.
Okay, give me just a second.
and then move him up to the top to make sure he's your top queued person.
She doesn't have anybody in his queue.
Oh,
I do have people like you.
uh-oh.
Fuck. Hold on.
Yeah, I do have people in my queue. I said it earlier.
Dalvin Cook.
Yeah.
Boom.
Resume draft. Look at me.
Look at you.
You might
I
want
do
to check with
wanna-
those other people that
Yeah,
in case they didn't
You
want
want to make sure that no one got
McKinnon.
fucked.
No, they took Mike Williams. And
Yeah,
they took
but they
David
might have wanted
Njoku.
McKinnon.
Huh?
They might have wanted McKinnon.
Why would they want McKinnon?
Brees Hall was drafted before Dalvin Cook in this draft, by the way. I want that to be notated.
That is where Brees Hall has been going. Brees Hall's.
I mean, I'm not shitting on it. He is going to be a longer
I'm
term.
shitting on it, honestly. I think that's kind of what we talked about earlier with people hanging on to their priors too tight. I think that's what we're seeing with Brees Hall. He's coming off an ACL. I realize Dalvin Cook's coming off of a shoulder surgery himself, and he's not necessarily cleared. But
You don't run with your shoulders.
right, and you can squat with your shoulders, and you can train with your shoulder
Yeah.
with your shoulders being all fucked up. You can't when you are Brees Hall getting an ACL reconstruction. It wasn't, obviously more of a mild surgery nowadays than in the past, but Dalvin Cook's there for a reason. Dalvin Cook got paid what he got paid for a reason, which is like a top 10 running back in the league. And he's just going to be the bell cow there. And people haven't
He
really
catches the ball.
At least this
come to
season.
grips with it.
Yeah, at least this first season with them. And honestly, even with that shoulder surgery he had, I don't think that should even be a factor come season.
Yeah.
I think he should be completely healthy as he's been since college, but I know he's always dealt with injuries.
Jets win the Super Bowl and Cook and Rodgers retire.
That could happen as well.
I would love that.
Completely destroy my Superflex dynasty.
Well, Gronk and Brady already tried and didn't do that right.
I have 3 running backs. I have 4 wide receivers, and there's just a screaming value in my face.
I'm excited.
And I'm just going to have to take it, even though I'm not going to have a pick
San
until
Francisco defense.
round 9. San Francisco
Is this a
defense.
QB?
No, I have to do it just because I love this guy so much, and it is going to force me
I think I know what
to
it is.
go to work in the off season because
Uh-oh.
It's George Pickens.
No.
not George Pickens.
Who did they say he was better than?
Dude, if it's who I think it is, I'll be.
I think I know who it is.
Oh no!
I might have to go.
I think I know who it is.
Don't do it.
I'm not even. I'm completely only looking at what that screen shows me, which is live to everybody else. I'm not looking at anybody's phone unless Anthony's like, check out this other draft.
I'm panicking.
How's your other draft going, by the way?
I'm going to Tagovailoa.
It's going pretty good. Okay, that's
Aaron
fine.
Rodgers immediately.
I changed my mind.
Well, that's
I
an
thought
auto
you were
pick.
gonna go Goff.
I changed my mind mid. Oh no, I'm not. Definitely never would go golf
was-
there.
I
I can
thought-
get golf in the
you
9th
got
round if
the
I want
10.
to.
Yeah, honestly, no, but I didn't know. I thought
All right.
Look at that. I started run on quarterbacks too.
Now, before I make this pick, I just want to say this is definitely me wanting to play keeper. Definitely me wanting to play keeper and get a fucking steal next year.
The 7th pick, he takes Quentin Johnson, my number 1 rated wide receiver in this rookie class. As his 3rd wide receiver, don't hate it. I think it's a fine value. No reason for you to apologize about it, honestly.
As if there should be ever.
Yeah, just
You guys
just
were
be,
playing a fake league about fake sports.
yeah, but you prefacing that with like being like, this is my keeper for next year at 7-11. Like I don't mind it even if he's not your keeper next year. Even if Darren Waller balls out and ends up being tight end 3 this year.
Well, he's
and
going to
you
be
keep
great
him
when
instead.
your Keenan Allen pops a hamstring and then he takes over.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Keenan Allen
Having
could
2
just
Mike Williams on the team is
blow
gonna
his hammy out. Yeah, I love, for that reason I love Justin Herbert.
Great development for him. He's in a great system. He's going to be a great wide receiver.
Yep. So you do have the Justin Herbert and Quentin Johnson stack if you're into that sort of thing.
And you know what? I think he's going to be a great wide receiver specifically because he's got that Keenan Allen Swiss cheese, like to kind of cushion his blow a little bit. He doesn't have to come out and ball out. That's kind of why I'm also really excited for Jordan Addison as a Viking because like there's no pressure. It's just do your freak superstar athleticism as much as you can when it's called on you, but like no pressure, So I don't know. There's a lot of targets there for him to really find his role.
Yeah, I think Quentin Johnson will have a fine season.
Definitely
he
better
is
than George Pickens.
He is your first flex position, so you do have a full lineup. Where I kind of drafted a bit like an asshole. I do think I made the right decision. The guy that I was going to pick has not gotten drafted yet. He's not going to make it back around to me. He's just too high in ADP, and we got too many people auto drafting for this $60,000 league. But no, it's not Deuce Vaughn. I'll let you in on it. It is a wide receiver. Titan. I think he made the championship game last season. He's got Saquon Barkley, Patrick Mahomes with the 2.1 in a 6-point passing touchdown league. So that's you have to take that into consideration as well. Mr. Boston is chiming in. He's got DeAndre Hopkins, who I don't mind at 4.1. He's got T. Higgins, which I think is a little bit of a reach, but a good value if you ask for most people. Oof. And he just took George Pickens and Odell Beckham Jr.
Jesus Christ.
on the 7-8 turn. And I don't like that.
What do we think about Odell Beckham? Do you think he's going to ball out?
No, I
You
think
don't think so?
I got some for you.
Okay, what do you got?
I didn't ask you a question.
I believe in you, bud. I believe.
So Anthony Ramos has taken his second quarterback to fill his first bench spot on his team in the 8th round. He picked Jared Goff. And yeah, for that reason, I'm kind of happy I took Tua where I took him. I was going to take a non-quarterback in that spot, and I was going to have to wait till the 9th pick because I do have my Chris Olave keeper on 8. And Anthony Ramos is drafting. Is this how many teams in this league? 10-team league.
Yeah.
Bragging about having a good team on a 10-team league.
He got Cooper Kupp, Justin Herbert, Derrick Henry fell into the 3rd round, which isn't crazy. Chris Olave with your 4th round draft
Take
pick.
him with your 8th
Why do you
round.
have? Wait, are you Sheldon?
No, I'm.
Oh,
Yeah, Sheldon. Yeah, Sheldon High School Fishing Club.
why do you have 2 quarterbacks?
I think it's just one for fucking backup. Josh Allen and
You
Justin
took your
Herbert.
backup quarterback, Josh Allen. Why did Josh Allen fall?
I want to
that
get
far?
him off the fucking board. Also, I'm high as shit, and I wasn't really thinking.
That's crazy. So you took so you are high because you just took Justin Herbert in the 2nd round, and then you're like, oh wow, Josh Allen, who went
2nd round on ours.
who went 2-7 in our league, where you drafted Justin Herbert, was still sitting around in your 10-teamer.
Wow.
Why not? Have 2 bombers.
I guess, man.
Somebody just went defense off the board.
First defense drafted
on their 8th round
San
pick.
Francisco.
I don't get that.
I will say,
Wait,
I'm
is that
taking
auto
What's
pick?
it? No.
since
That's
this
a
league,
normal
since this
person.
league is like for
That might
so
have been
much
auto
money.
It's just not showing auto.
Yeah.
No, it's showing. Well,
I'll wait for
it's still
them.
showing Fiestas on auto.
No, but since this
But I
league
think
is
Tate-
worth so much more money, I'm definitely taking this one a lot more serious. This other league is for like $25.
Yeah, you're not nearly as high on this draft as you are for the other one.
No. I'm paying attention over here. This one, I'm just switching back and forth.
This is what Jamie does.
Oh,
He
shit,
gets a
I'm on the
bunch of
clock again.
high people to draft with him. He's like, I'm the best drafter in the league. Ain't nobody better than me. He's stone sober.
I felt like I was drafting with a bunch of idiots yesterday. Are you in that redraft, Spencer?
Yeah.
That was crazy. The amount of values. I had Cooper Kupp fall to me at 1.2 and a 2 wide receiver, 2 flex
And a 1.2?
at 12 at 1.12. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1.12.
12th round.
The 12th round, I got Garrett Wilson and Cooper Kupp at the 12 spot. Which
I just don't think Cooper's Cup's going to be as good as you think he is.
why don't you believe in Cooper Kupp? Are you a racist?
He's old.
He's not that old. What is he, 30?
Hey, he's a white dude with blonde hair and a blonde beard. You know, you have to stare at that face.
Tell us. He's on the spot. This
And
is live.
it's a safe
If I hate
space.
Cooper Kupp.
We will not
as a
conglomerate and do anything
fantasy
about it.
player on my team this year.
I don't get your disdain for Cooper Kupp. He was
The quarterback play and then him being elderly.
what
and then,
quarterback play? It's Matt Stafford. It's the same guy.
Oh, yeah, he really killed it last year.
Well, he was injured,
Yeah.
and when
He's old too.
But they literally
He's got a whole
did.
team of
They
old
did
people.
kill it when they were on the field together.
For the
they
Super
did
Bowl.
kill it. No. Last season they killed it.
Well, yeah, no,
he
I'm saying,
scored.
but even just the year before, they won the Super Bowl together.
If you're looking
so
at
that's a
points
quick
per
fall
game,
off.
even with Cooper Kupp's game where he got injured and he came out early and only played like 25% of the snaps, he was still top 5 wide receiver in points per game. He might have been number 1 in some formats.
See, it doesn't feel good when you have opinions on Austin Eckler now, is it? No, I'm just joking.
What are you talking about? I said Austin Eckler was great.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah, last year he was standard 23rd. He made 167 points.
Standard 23rd. Points per game,
Yeah.
Spencer. He played half a season, you doofus.
Exactly. He played half a season.
He could have come back, but
That's what
season,
I want. I want a player that plays half a season.
But he ended the
Really
season
helps my
healthy.
team
There's
out.
no reason like Breece Hall that he had an ACL surgery over the offseason. We don't have that concern. And we have a lot of time to talk now because Miles is picking.
Cooper Kupp only had an ankle injury.
He's like,
a
"You're
high ankle
welcome."
sprain, if I remember right. Nothing too crazy.
Cooper Kupp?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
it's
It
nothing
wasn't.
You don't
crazy.
run on that or anything.
He ended the season healthy, though, is what I'm saying.
I'm saying I don't think
Healthy scratches.
he's going to be as good as you think he's going to be.
That's-
Maybe he will be.
Honestly,
but I think your reasoning, you haven't convinced me why you think that other than you just hate white people.
I think quarterback play, and I think he's old. And
You think Stafford's going to have a bad season?
I don't think he's going to have as good a season as he did
Ooh.
in 2021.
So he's bought in on Stetson Bennett.
I am also bought in on Stetson Bennett, even though he's looked kind of mediocre in preseason.
Honestly, what more can you ask for him? He was a Georgia Bulldog, and he won back-to-back college football championships.
Everybody's like, oh, he's old. He's 25.
He's a retired
So?
And Miles goes Jordan Addison, which I absolutely love.
Yeah, I know. He could
Jordan
play another 20
Addison
years.
in the 9th round, hopefully will fill in as the Thielen position, Adam Thielen position for the Minnesota Vikings. He was like number 2 in the NFL with routes run last season. He obviously didn't produce because he's a corpse of his original self. Another defense goes off the board, drafted on purpose
I
to
like
Philadelphia
Brandon Cooks
Eagles.
at 9 too. I think that's a solid value.
Yep.
He's old.
He's fast as shit.
No, I know.
And
he is fast.
I think I'm just staring at another smash value here where I am at 9 and I have to check bye weeks. And I think we're good because Geno Smith has a week 5 bye week, which I did remember. Yes, I did. I'm going to take Geno Smith in a 6-point passing touchdown league. I got Tua and Geno as my 2 quarterbacks. I just
Did Derek Carr just go off the board?
love it. Yep, Derek Carr sure did.
It's auto pick. You can't.
Honestly,
Auto makes weird picks.
Right after Geno Smith, Dalvin Cook goes on the board.
Honestly, I think Derek Carr was on my list of people. If they slipped far enough down the line, I would have taken him because
Yeah.
they
As
could
your
have
backup,
a breakout year
yeah.
as
I
a
love
backup.
him. I loathe Derek Carr. Can't stand
Aaron
watching
Rodgers
him.
was the same. I felt like he might be. We said that earlier. He might be fired.
Oh, I think Rodgers is going to be fired. He looks so happy.
yeah, there's no reason
I
for
still
him
think
not
both
to.
Carr and Rodgers went off way too early. Like they went off.
Someone
like
as
two
spiritual
rounds
as
early.
Rodgers has gotten, there's no way that man has a bad season unless he just gets smacked and
I
creamed.
hate that I'm gonna have to fucking do this.
Anthony's pick is up.
I hate that I'm gonna have to root for the fucking Cowboys this year.
He takes defense. The first man in the room to take defense.
People
in
take
round
defense
9?
not the last 2 rounds. It's a mental illness to me.
I agree. Now that somebody's already made that mistake in this room, I didn't want to say it out loud, but yeah, I think that's really, really dumb.
I don't see a
You're probably
benefit in
gonna drop
Dallas's
that.
defense.
You're probably going to drop the Cowboys defense
Before
week
the
3
season
of the
starts.
NFL
What's defense getting you
season.
5-6 points a week.
They're going to play. They're going to open the season with the Giants. I
negligible.
Not
know.
Dallas.
And then they're going to play Jets. So you're not going to want to play them in week 2. So you'll either have to use a roster spot because they do have Arizona in week 3, or you have to drop them, and I will outbid you for the Dallas Cowboys and get them in week 3 against Arizona for our ADP. And there, by the way, Jerick McKinnon just went off the board. So that kind of settles. Everyone had like 3 shots at him, did not take him after Miles was forced to auto draft him instead of Dalvin Cook. How you feeling about Jerick
Another
McKinnon?
defense off the board.
Shit.
New York Jets.
I'm okay with that one.
Well, they're going to play the Cowboys in week 2. And guess who they have in week 1? The
Fuck.
Buffalo Bills.
Nice.
So good luck. I don't care how good your defense is. If you're playing the
Yeah,
Buffalo Bills,
you don't want to play that.
I don't know what
level.
that over-under is set at, but I'm sure it's something
Shit.
remarkably high.
Might be the first good game between those two teams in like 57 years.
And there's just so many quality assets still on the board.
I'm going to guess Jamie's next pick, if it falls to him, is going to be Jahan Dotson.
He's not going to fall to me, but it will be my pick because our Pete's going to auto draft him. But yeah, he was honestly the guy I was looking at back for the Tua pick.
Even playing for
and
Washington.
he's fallen this far. He's
Honestly?
Terry McLaurin is going to be injured to start the season, or he is injured to start the season.
Yeah.
He's already looked like the wide receiver 1 there when he was healthy on the same field.
I like how 3 of the top 4 available picks are.
Dude, and he fell to me. He fell to me.
He did come to
He
you.
fell to me. How did that even happen?
Because the auto picks on what it needs, and it needed a
He
defense.
needed a defense.
Wow. I didn't know that. So I'm gonna get a guy who I wanted to take 4 rounds ago and sort of forgot about him because I saw Geno Smith staring me at the face. And I got Jahan Dotson in the 10th round, the number 1 target in Washington as far as I'm concerned. Performed extremely well when he was healthy last year. I am stacked at wide receiver. I only can start 3, and I'm probably going to start 2 in week 1 because I got Jahmyr Gibbs. So I'm going to have to go to work and probably package like a Tua and a Jahan Dotson for a high-end tight end or quarterback in mid-season this season. So I'm going to have to go to work, but just the values that I got in this draft were too difficult to pass up.
I think at the tight end position, I don't know that you necessarily will need to give up that much. I don't know.
Exactly.
And I say that because like even after the 4th week in the NFL, like I would imagine there's going to be at least 2 top 5 tight ends that are hurt, and then you're finding out about their backup that's like legit, or he's going to take targets and he's going to make his time count. So that can always happen.
Yeah, especially when the guy who has Mark Andrews drafted a guy with a broken wrist and a guy who can't get open in the round 7 and round 8, and Jackson Smith and Jigba and Marquise Brown for the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
And he has the Philadelphia Eagles with his 9 pick. So he took Zeke with his 10th pick. So he's going to be hurting for
Attention.
running back bad. He's going to need running back bad, especially around bye weeks. And if he does have an injury with Tony Pollard or Nick Chubb, God forbid, I will hopefully be able to go ahead and put a package together for Mark Andrews, who I love this season.
Yeah.
Dice.
Mr. Most days off was Zay Flowers going 2 back-to-back rookie wide receivers. My 2 favorite for redraft wide receivers. In fantasy football. Honestly, talk about keeper city, man. Like Christian Watson, if he goes nuclear, if he ends up being wide receiver 3 this year, or if Jordan Addison or Zay Flowers pop like we think they might be able to, you're going to have a 9th or 10th or 8th or 9th keeper that is just a screaming value.
Yeah.
Kind of like what I was forced into with Chris Olave this year. So brilliant keeper picks on your part, but also I think guys who can produce for your team in their first season, especially filling in for that awful Michael Pittman pick in the 6th round. Miles, I was just making fun of you.
Oh, you're
He
good.
didn't react
I
at
don't
all.
know who either of the guys you were just talking about are.
So
But I
we're
will be taking the money, which is the funny part of it.
Yeah. Good.
yeah, the 60 grand. I love that Brian said he's at a yoga retreat in like Uruguay or something crazy like that.
I said Germany.
They don't do yoga, dude. There, they're not that chill.
They do ecstasy.
And he has been on.
And it's
He has
hot
made
room
every
Pilates.
single pick within 15 seconds. He's still
Ball and
on.
downward dog.
He is. He is in downward dog while he's
Boston, I swear to
drafting.
God, if you auto pick for me,
He's
I
an
will.
upward dog. He's trying to be excited. Come here. Yeah.
Gina on the turn. She did get Tyler Boyd, which is a pretty decent value, I guess. He's a stable floor guy in the 10th round, which she honestly needed. She needed a 3rd wide receiver to fill out her team. She does have Drake London and Terry McLaurin as her only 2 other wide receivers, which are both injured. Drake London's injured. Is that my?
I don't know. I didn't know about that. I'm actually excited for his year.
No, I'm confused. I'm thinking of Treylon Burks. Yeah, Drake London, who will be on a pass first or a run first offense alongside Kyle Pitts in the 5th round, and Terry McLaurin, who has a sort of mild to moderate knee injury going into this season, takes Tyler Boyd with her 10th pick, her 3rd wide receiver drafted. Miles takes his first tight end, Dalton Kincaid. Rookie tight ends, never a good idea to draft rookie tight ends, except this season. Everyone loves rookie tight ends, and I don't blame them. There's a lot of reason to be excited about Dalton Kincaid. He's not going to have to block. He's basically going to be wide receiver. They already said that he will be basically lining up at wide receiver for a explosive offense who might be short a Stephon Diggs if somebody's mean to him in the locker room or whatever, because he is very a fragile human being. And I'm just going to take more depth, honestly. I'm just going to have to take more depth and take Brian Robinson. So I got both B. Robinsons on my team. Whenever you see my lineup,
Jesus
you're not going to know which
Christ.
one I'm starting. Brian Robinson will be the...
Why has it got to be James Bond about his fantasy lineup? He's like,
Jamie, that is a great pick.
distraction, smoke
Brian
screen.
Robinson, the guy who would have tore it up last year if he hadn't got shot in the leg
Twice in the leg. Yeah.
before preseason.
He took
Insane.
50 Cent's masterclass
Yeah.
of how to sell your brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, and honestly, Donald Trump has jumped on board too with getting arrested himself and putting his mugshot out. But Brian Robinson, street cred wise, top of my list, but also as my fourth running back on my team.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me? He's going to be the bell cow there.
I can't wait for them to retire and him to go box Ja Morant.
Antonio Gibson not going to be a threat there for him whatsoever. The current coaching staff, which granted might get fired halfway through the season, like Brian Robinson, and one of those ADPs that does not make sense this season. Antonio Gibson going before Brian Robinson when Brian Robinson was healthy. Even when he wasn't healthy, he was getting opportunities, and when he towards the end of the season started to recover from getting shot twice in the leg as a running back.
Yeah.
You won't believe it. He looked way more explosive. That's one of the things you just turn on the film and see, and it's very obvious.
Yeah.
If you look at Brian Robinson's season highlight, just the highlights. Like, you don't have to like dig down deep into the film. You can just see the guy move faster, move better, move more comfortably in that offense.
That's a sneaky offense.
Dude.
It looks explosive. This team screams out 2022 Minnesota to me.
Yeah, Dotson's going to be great. He's probably going to have a great breakout year. So I did go 2 Washington players back to back.
Sam Howell's legit.
I don't know about that, but I know
think
Jacoby
he's gonna-
Brissett is. And
Yeah, I mean, shit. With one of those two guys, they have to have a solid season, right?
Yeah, I think they'll be fine. They have a competent head coach who loves going for it on fourth down. So point per first down, Brian Robinson might get a lot of third down, fourth and short carries after Antonio Gibson comes in on third down and fails because he's not as good as Brian Robinson. In the 11th round, just too good of an asset to pass up. I did go running back for the first 3 in a 2 running back, 2 wide receiver, 1 flex league. But I just love the value there. And I am going to have to go to work making some trades happen this season to really make a push for the championship. But I feel really good where I'm at with the values that I found in this draft so far. And who's up? Anthony, did you just pick?
Yeah, I already picked.
Took Alan Lazard, another really high floor guy in my opinion.
Good job. That was a good one.
Could be the
You could have drafted Russell Wilson before. Proud of you.
Yeah, so your wide receiver room, A.J. Brown, Debo Samuel, Gabe Davis, and Alan Lazard. You're really trying to fill out the depth in your wide receiver room late. And Quentin Johnson, thank you for reminding me. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Quentin Johnson becomes your wide receiver 2 on your team very early on in this season. But honestly, hate your draft. Don't like Breece Hall where you got him. Don't like DeAndre Swift as your running back 2.
I'm torn on DeAndre Swift.
Jonathan Taylor might. So you have to pay attention to what teams are doing, like who they're bringing on. They made a serious offer with the Miami Dolphins for Jonathan Taylor, which tells you everything you need to know about what they think about the running back room currently. Is they have a committee there and they want a superstar.
Okay, so you said Philadelphia offered a trade to Indianapolis, right?
Yep, Philadelphia offered
and Miami also offered a trade to Indianapolis. So those are the 2 that I think we know are on the table. The rumor I heard was about Miami, and I heard that they seem to almost kind of be setting the market themselves in that trade.
I heard the Eagles made the most aggressive offer. That's what I heard on Twitter.
The Eagles are the most aggressive at everything they do, and that's why they're as serious of a team as they are right now.
Well, they got a dog mentality.
Yep. Oh, yeah? What was that?
Guys, I gotta hop out of here. I gotta make dinner.
All right, Mr. Andrew, thank you for coming. You're fabulous as always. Anthony, that can just be your microphone right for now if you want to. Thanks for coming, buddy.
Take care. Have a good one.
Later, dude. Thanks, man.
Later, man.
Adios, Andrew.
My draft, I don't need luck, bro.
This is on, yeah.
Yes.
Cool. Yep, flip it on towards the tippy top. Oh, and
Ouch.
honestly, I love so many tight ends late here that I'm not going to take a tight end. even though I could. I'm going to take a wide receiver 1 for his team, Cortland Sutton.
I think that was a great pick.
Yep, another just smash value that I had to take. My wide receiver room is just super stacked, and I only get 1 flex in this league. But I'm just going to take the best option there in Cortland Sutton. He's just going to get so many targets this year, and maybe that offense is going to be good. And if that offense is good, him and Marvin Mims are going to have a spectacular season.
Dude, Sean Payton is the only reason I can foresee that offense being a maybe at this point. I think Russell Wilson really let the Broncos down as a leader last year because of
What
how.
do you mean, dude? Let's ride.
I mean, dude, that's between him and his personal life and his spouse. He can do whatever he wants. But dude, that's not how you get your team on board. I loved hearing like how many of his friends, or I'll say teammates, did not show up to his birthday last year. That was pretty funny. Because like, I mean, you know, you see somebody like Tom Brady who has everything and he fucking works his ass off for it and people respect him for it. Russell Wilson just puts on an orange uniform after he wears neon green and he loses his fucking mind.
But he did have 50% of the people that were on his team show up to the event, which is a high percentage. It's more than what we had for this $60,000 fantasy football championship draft.
Yeah, that is
You'd think
true.
a lot of people would want to come in person, but maybe they're with their associates, with their people who are telling them exactly what to pick. I can't believe Dotson fell to me.
Yeah, that was a fun moment
am
to watch.
absolutely ecstatic.
The atmosphere really changed here.
Yeah, with where I'm at. Should I add 2 more rounds to this draft because there's just so many good guys that are still available. But
The dumbest
Just
shit.
keep going, dude.
Yeah.
Go to the round of players.
let's keep it rolling.
I'm
I don't
drafting
know.
the ball boy for the Philadelphia Eagles. I want someone who's actually going to be used the whole season.
He has potential upside.
Holy
And
moly.
also, he's got potential big upside for the following.
Yeah.
That's probably where I'm going.
I got 2 guys in my queue.
What do I do? Stop doing shit, computer.
I do not have a defense or a tight end yet.
I think I might actually, and that's part of the fun. It's gonna be the worst.
I love
player
how
on my
segmented the
lineup.
whole atmosphere
What do you
is here right
think
now.
about
Every
doing,
draft
Miles?
room.
I think I'm gonna go with this guy right here, and I'm curious to see how you feel about it.
Rashee Rice. I like Rashee Rice. I whispered into the microphone so you didn't hear it, but I do not have a tight end or a defense yet.
So
So
you
I'll
gotta
probably
have
be
the-
going with those
yeah.
picks in my next 2. Spoiler
Good
alert.
news, lots of tight ends you still like.
I'll tell you what, Miles, I like Rashee Rice more than I like Dalton Kincaid or Jamison Williams, your 2 previous picks. He could be a guy who could be Kansas City #1 there. There's a lot of
Hey,
above
man.
average.
Taysom Hill's still on the board.
Exactly. There's 3 tight ends that I'm
That
just
guy's
in.
won me some games.
Yep.
I was a Taysom Hill whisperer last year. I just knew when he was going to get 40 points, and
Yeah.
I plopped him in.
That's
I was
awesome.
plopping him in, playing three tight ends at one point, and I was just murdering. I was Dallas Goedert, Zach Ertz, and
Jesus
Taysom Hill.
And Zach Ertz almost
love-
died last year, too.
I love him in best ball. And yeah, man, there's so many good players that are still available that are going to be free agents this year that I'm kind of upset about. But like Kareem Hunt just went 13-7. So that's
not
a
even on a
really good
team.
That's
reason.
assuming Kareem Hunt finds a team.
Exactly.
Yeah,
There's so many
he's gonna
free
be
agents
backup
right
for
now
Tony
in
Pollard, I
trades,
guess. Yeah, and like Leonard Fournette, like why would you take him there? He's not on a team yet. As
he's
your
old.
4th, he's got Zeke and Kareem Hunt as his 2 backup running
Jesus.
backs. Not looking.
Zeke will probably get you good touchdowns.
Great.
Yeah,
He'll be a decent
Zeke is
floor.
actually going to be, I think, a bigger asset to the Patriots than what we realize. And
Oh yeah, he's going to take. Look at it. See how fat he is. He's going to take goal line.
He's going to waddle in there.
He's going to waddle into
Like the
12
Kool-Aid Man
touchdowns.
and be like, oh yeah.
jump back into a Salvation Army pot and just wear his costume.
But I'm going to go
He's going
defense.
to look like the Salvation Army pod.
Spencer, I'd like your live reaction to this defense that I'm about to take, and then I'm going to explain to you why I did it. Ready?
See it.
Washington Commanders with my 13-8.
Oh, I have a feeling
They
I
actually
know
do
why.
better than people realized.
They're good. Chase Young is going to be healthy this year.
Chase Young is a wonderful football player outside of fantasy.
But guess who they're playing week 1?
I was just about to say, I don't know who they're playing week 1, but I know you chose them because of probably the first 5 teams they play.
No, not the first 5.
Well,
the first 2.
even just the first 1 or first 2.
Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, there you go.
Oh yeah.
I grew up on Phoenix. I'm actually a Cardinals
With
fan.
Josh-
I had to go.
Josh Dobbs, their starting
With hair
wide receiver.
trash, dude. The closest we ever got was the Super Bowl with the Steelers, where we had that like one big play called back. That was just ridiculous.
No.
And then it was just that was the closest we got to a taste of it.
Week number 2, I got Denver Broncos.
I have one more.
Week number
I gotta
3,
defense.
I will be streaming
It's
a
not that big a deal.
defense
Yep.
because they're playing the Bills and the Eagles. So see you later, Commanders. Just cost me a 13th round pick, and now I just got to go tight end with my last selection, or I can take a injured player, put him on my IR, and then get a free agent tight end. That's not what I'm doing. Spoiler alert. There's 2 tight ends. I'm kind of hoping somebody snipes one of my tight ends so I don't feel bad about passing on the other tight end that I love in the late round of this draft.
Well, let's just also assume every other team before you has multiple tight ends. It might also be a free agent. Like, you know what?
You know who doesn't have another tight end? It's me.
I have one.
Dawson Knox, not the guy on top of my list. Not a terrible pick.
Yeah.
I would have recommended you take
Dulich.
not a tight end at that pick. They're Dulcich.
Dulcich. Yeah, dude. I'm dyslexic.
I'm not going to tell you about all of the assets that y'all are passing on right now because there's so many good guys that are still available that could produce, including Deuce Vaughn. Just kidding. I wouldn't draft Deuce Vaughn. But I don't love you with Darren Waller even having a backup tight end in this league with only 14 roster spots.
You just stream your buy.
Yeah. Stream your
I
buy.
picked a buy tight end yesterday, and they had the same bye week. I was like, God,
Yeah.
that's what I get for not paying attention.
Yeah, that happens to me a
I
lot.
wasn't worried. I'll just stream them.
That happens to me so much. Too much.
Yep. So all the people in between me, Taylor only has 1 tight end on her team, but the other teams already have 2 tight ends. But there are a lot of free thinkers in this league, so you got to keep that in mind. So maybe we'll see
The first
somebody
3.
roster their 3rd tight end.
Yeah.
DPJ, Raheem Mostert, a very strange pick for Anthony Ramos with some of the guys that are still available. Why did you pick Raheem Mostert?
You know, man, I need another running back. And honestly, if I'm going to pick Jalen Warren or Raheem Mostert or Devin Singletary, I think I want to go with Raheem.
See, I would have went Jalen Warren.
I would have gone Jalen Warren every single time, and I really regret even telling you this because I don't want anybody to pick him, and he might go undrafted in this league. But honestly, I would just cut. See, and Romeo Doubs just went off the board. He is way more of an asset for you than Raheem Mostert. Even if Christian Watson stays healthy, Romeo Doubs could be lined up for an absolutely nuclear
I just don't
season.
believe in their quarterback.
He's still poised to be their
And
second.
that's why you're getting a massive. That's why you're getting a massive discount on him. Is because of the quarterback play.
That is true.
And
Yep.
that's just something that's like I'm swinging for the fences. I'm planning on Jordan Love being competent, and I don't think there's a situation. I don't think there's a realm of possibility where he is worse than Rodgers played last year. If you look at the numbers,
Yeah, dude,
of
Rodgers
how
was dog shit.
he was
last
so
year.
bad. He had
That's
a
a-
broken thumb in his throwing hand. He wasn't accurate.
Well, and that's a
if you
good
just
metric.
just look at Love's past. I mean, 22 points. First year 0 points. Second year 22 points. Third year 11 points. I mean, what do you expect?
Yeah. You don't have a whole lot of you don't have a sample size from him, and I think the fact that Rodgers wanted to depart on like such a low bar for him is only like a benefit to like the mentality of filling the role of being the Green Bay quarterback. So that, I mean, it's going to be exciting for him no matter what, because I mean, yeah, I think they're warranted time to be putting shit together. I don't think it's not going to be fantastic or perfect, but I mean, Green Bay and their organization has a lot more writing on this than we do.
Yep, so none of the 3 tight ends that I love got drafted, so I'm going to take my favorite of the 3, who is the guy I trashed on purpose to start this episode, Jake Ferguson, the number 1 tight end for the Dallas Cowboys, who love to pass the football. He is young.
Did it go?
Nobody knows about him.
Did you pick it?
Yep, I sure did.
Nobody could see it on the screen.
Jake Ferguson.
I can't see it on my phone either.
Oh, let me scroll down.
Oh shit! What happened to my phone?
The sleeper app, you got to refresh a lot.
God damn it!
See, that's what fucked me. I have a screenshot in my phone where I got a notification from Sleeper on Tuesday, and then I realized Thursday, I was like, damn, dude, this draft are we really still waiting on somebody? And I was like, why is Troy Anderson on my team? I don't need a fucking another linebacker, dude. And so, yeah, you learn that the hard way. And I still haven't even dropped him yet because I don't even believe he's going to be bad. So.
I don't know who Troy Anderson is.
Exactly. And that's
Raiders.
why I am dropping him and myself later.
We get some sacks
So
this year.
I don't mean to help Miles out too much, but he does need a defense
I
here.
know.
Dude, the
It's always been
Patriots
talking
are
about.
still there. Patriots.
I almost took Dallas in the first, but I didn't want to. Sure.
There you go. Jalen Warren gets drafted, so you missed on Jalen Warren. He is a guy who could carve out a bigger role for himself just in the season without an injury at the starting running back position. And he's also a guy who, if there is an injury to Najee Harris, can just go absolutely nuclear. I think he is a better athlete.
Did
He does
Gina
pass
go
my eye
3
test.
quarterbacks?
Gina,
She
she
did.
got Kenny Pickett in the very last round,
Why?
which I love. Hilarious.
Why?
She free thinker, Gina.
She's
She's trade bait.
Hey,
She's
at
gonna
least
trade.
it wasn't another tight end, okay?
She's got 2 defenses, 3 quarterbacks, 2 tight ends. So she's only rostering 4 wide receivers and 3 running backs.
All
So
right, we've got a winner.
Anthony's been drafting this whole time by himself.
I love the team I got on Sleeper. I do kind of like this team. I'm really happy with it.
Anthony, tell us your starting lineup, please, and then maybe your
by
backup.
default right now, my starting lineup: Justin Herbert, Breece Hall, DeAndre Swift, AJ Brown, Debo Samuel, Darren Waller, Gabe Davis, and the Cowboys defense.
Okay.
On my bench, I have Jared Goff, Raheem Mostert, Tank Bigsby, Alan Lazard, Quentin Johnson, and Dawson Knox.
Got it. And then I have Tua as my starting quarterback. I have Bijan Robinson and Josh Jacobs as running back 1 and 2. I got Keenan Allen, Christian Kirk as my wide receiver 1 and 2. I got Jake Ferguson as my tight end, Jahmyr Gibbs as my flex. And I have the Washington Commanders who will be playing the Arizona Cardinals week 1 at home of the NFL season. My bench is stacked full of superstars: Tyler Lockett, Chris Olave, who is my keeper. So actually, I guess Chris Olave would technically be my wide receiver too, behind Keenan Allen. And Geno Smith, my backup quarterback, Jahan Dotson, Brian Robinson, and Cortland Sutton to end out my roster. And Mr. Miles, how's your team looking?
Starting, I've only got 1 QB, 1 tight end, and 1 defense. So those spots will go to Joe Burrow, Dalton Kincaid, and New England. I'll have Stephon Diggs as my RB1, as my WR1. Devontae Adams is 2. I will probably put in your biggest bust candidate there, Travis
Etienne?
Etienne or whatever. I don't know. I just went with the draft pick of that one. I have no idea who this person is.
Hey, honestly, it's okay. He doesn't know who you are either.
That's fair, dude.
Not
You
yet,
know what?
not
He
yet.
has a more likely chance of me knowing or him knowing me than me knowing him, I think. So based on Jamie's
We'll
reaction.
make it happen once we get Deuce Vaughn here to race again.
Yeah,
it'll
exactly.
happen in the offseason. We will.
I honestly, I feel somewhere where I feel good about that. I don't remember who agreed and disagreed. I think Christian Watson is going to prove to be a very
He
valuable
hated your
choice
Christian
for
Watson
me.
pick.
I
Me and Caleb trashed him for it.
I think that just again what you guys said about his athleticism is going to get me points. I don't know if he's going to be like winning games for their team. I don't really care, but I do think that he will earn some
He still has
heavy
to-
points.
yeah, he
I
still
think
has
he
to
could
show
win.
out.
I think he could win games for you. On your note of only rostering 1 quarterback, Jordan Love, Kyler Murray, still free agents, didn't get drafted. So there will be some guys that are going to need to pick them up at some point. So if you do have an injury with your starting quarterback, or if you need a backup in your bye week, you do have.
I'm more concerned about Joe Burrow getting like syphilis than injured, to be completely honest.
because he's banging so many people. Because he's Joe Cool. Spenser O'Neill, who won the draft? Out of the people in this room.
If I'm being honest with you, I wasn't paying attention enough to know people's rosters. More, I just couldn't remember everybody's roster.
The correct answer is Anthony.
Or if you want to be back next week, the correct answer is Jamie. Or if you just want to like enjoy yourself and chill with the dog.
It's driving to Jamie's house is the most chaotic from my house for some reason. It's like a fucking maze, and the streets just disappear on
Does it take you side streets?
That's all it's like 100 turns, and then every lane just dissolves into a new lane.
Yeah.
It's the craziest place I've ever been. I feel like I've gone through a time warp to get here every time.
Yeah.
It says 5 miles on the map, and it's an hour and a half to get here.
It's pretty quick it's a pretty quick little trip from Deep Ellum, but you do take side streets, which is, scary.
There's no straight route here. There's no grid pattern.
No, there isn't. Welcome to South Dallas, baby. Caleb B. Davis, who won the draft?
Honestly, at this point, I'm excited mostly for Miles's team, but I also know that you have a lot of draft capital to work with, and that was a part of your actual draft.
Yeah.
And I think that offers you quite a bit of mobility with your team to like even it out and make your roster a little bit more diverse, but I don't feel like it necessarily needs it. You drafted everything you needed. Miles went light on positions of need, I think so personally, so he's got to tread lighter. And yeah, so I would say I think you won the draft. Miles has the most exciting team, and Anthony's really hoping that he hit on these people, which I do also see a lot of upside in the athletes that he drafted, and I may have even advised on a couple of them that were shit on.
Our head-to-head in the first
Yeah,
game,
me
so
and
I'm
Miles
gonna
are
go
playing
against
each other.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
It's
also,
like when I roasted Jamie, I was actually going against Natalie.
he's also a kiss ass. So
Hey,
Yeah,
man.
I really don't like Anthony's running back room. Brees Hall coming off an ACL might be number 2, definitely at least at best case scenario in a committee with Dalvin Cook.
And you don't want that to be your keeper pick for next year either. I think that's where he offers.
My
I think
keeper
that's where
pick
he
for
offers.
next year would have been Quentin Johnston.
I
If
know.
anything,
Well, and
Yeah.
I think that's a good. I'm hoping he's a good keeper for you, but I think Brees Hall has the larger value in his future than in this season with the New York Jets until like after week 14.
Anthony, you're just going to have a real issue with volume at your running back position. You do have Darren Waller.
Yes.
And
I
I do
love
have
that
a
pick.
surplus of running backs, including Brian Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs was my 3rd running back drafted. So I have Bijan Robinson as well. So maybe you and I
was eyeballing Bijan, not Bijan. Yeah, I was eyeballing Bijan.
and I have Josh Jacobs. So maybe you and
was eyeballing both.
maybe you and I get together after the dust settles in week 3, and you give me Darren Waller, and I'll give you one of my running backs, and I'll also throw in Jake Ferguson if you're really thirsty.
Let's take a look around. Let's feel it.
All right, I reviewed the draft, and I think, against my better judgment, I think you have the better team. I don't like your quarterbacks. I think you're going to be scrambling.
You're concerned
them.
about, so this is a 6-point passing touchdown league. I did wait until the 7th round to get quarterback, so that is a fair criticism for you to make with me counting on Tua. I'm sure you have an injury concern with Tua, Spenser O'Neill.
Tua, I just don't think he's going to be the same guy. I think he's going to be either timid or they're not going to want to use him. They're not going to want to have him run. They're not going to let him be Tua, and that's what makes Tua bad.
For the record, I'm not expecting Tua to be super mobile this year. I'm expecting him to be a pocket passer, and he's going to dump the ball off Jalen Waddle.
But I think they're going to be super conservative with him, and I think it's going to be And then I think he'll probably just get hurt and retire.
So I want to comment on that too, because I think there's a lot more value in like that grappling training that Tua's been doing and learning how to fall. Like, I feel like that should be a standard practice, if not among quarterbacks, maybe players in general.
If you look at the way he fell last year, it wasn't really his fault being thrown into the. I disagree. You can't really fix the way you're thrown into the ground.
No, I actually.
on how to take a bullet better.
Hey, like I said, ask 50 Cent for his master class, and he might teach you how to make vitamin water. Like, I'm just saying.
I also know, I think Geno Smith doesn't. I mean, he's good, but I think maybe it was
I
a
don't
fluke.
see any reason for Geno Smith to decline. I'm just also shitting on Tua a little bit because if the NFL or Miami is going to be like, we want you to do this, like, I do think it should be like, hey, advocate every player to do it just for the fuck of it. You're trying to make the game safer. Don't be at the expense of only DeMar Hamlin and Tua Tagovailoa, the people who almost dropped dead on your fields. And I am also a little salty. I've mentioned before that my team's the only team that has a psychiatrist for their quarterback. So I want that to change too.
That drop
you
dead
also
on
have
the
enough.
field thing.
You have enough.
is-
You have enough that you can just trade for a quarterback.
Right, exactly. Or a tight end. So Geno Smith, number 5 quarterback in this point format last season. He got an upgrade at wide receiver 3 with Jake Bobo. And wide receiver 4, Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Wide receiver. You got
I was
a white
going,
guy.
Yeah,
And Tua Tagovailoa.
White guys they're killing it this year.
he's
You
the
got
one to notice again.
Alec Pierce, he's coming out in Indy as wide receiver 1, I think, or 2 behind
Michael
Pittman.
Pittman.
Yeah, well, we'll see because Anthony
And
Richardson
Michael
has
Pittman's
a
a white
cannon.
name.
And what's going to happen with their run game now too? Jonathan Taylor's a big asset to the viability of their entire
Yeah, that
offense.
guy's starting to piss
Wait,
me
who's
off.
the white guy on the Raiders?
Renfro.
Oh, Renfro.
Yeah, no one took
Third
him
Renfro.
Yeah.
Why would you? But but getting back to what's really important is my football team. I do agree with you, Spenser O'Neill, that the way I built my roster is going to require me to make a trade in the season.
So nobody trade with Jamie. Everybody
Yeah.
heard that
Yeah, that's
first.
actually a
Do
good
not
fucking idea.
accept any
I,
trades from
however,
Jamie.
disagree with you on his team. I think if Dalton Kincaid has a year that everybody thinks he's going to have, I think he's going to give you a run for your money.
No, I like Miles's team. I didn't mean to make it sound like I don't like
I think
Miles's
Travis
team.
Etienne, he was good last year. He's quick, he's zipping, he runs downfield. He
And he
doesn't.
bulked
Yeah,
up.
I mean,
fucking dancing thing.
if we disagree on one player that you draft, I'm not going to hate your whole team.
Yeah.
Like,
No, yeah. But I'm saying that looking at everybody else's team, I think you two have the strongest teams as far as just players, just who you have.
Does that have any?
I know you're right.
I'm not worried. I'm winning on the fucking. So how
Anthony's
much was
been booking
it?
me on
Didn't you week win last year too?
My final thought: Anthony's been booking me on a lot of things, so I think Anthony's going to win. I think he's
exactly.
going to continue to win.
Exactly.
Yeah, even your bench, Miles. I love Dalvin Cook on your bench. I like
That is
Rashee
good.
Rice on your bench.
Yeah.
The Michael Pittman and Jameson Williams, not my favorite picks that you made, but late round picks. Do whatever the hell you want. And then Zay Flowers and
I
Jordan
think Jameson
Addison.
Williams is for where he got him is a.
He's not going to
risk.
play. He's not going to play
games?
six
but he's
games
a-
this
yeah,
season.
Who cares if he comes back and kills it in the end?
I'm
of the
not
game.
convinced that he does come back and kill it. Is my main
That's the risk.
He's
concern.
also hamstring injured, which means he's double.
He does have an injury, so he's got a suspension and an
Do you
injury.
remember?
He's got 6 weeks to get rid
He
of it.
also said he wasn't going to draft someone earlier because they're not playing the whole season. Why would I draft him?
Well, no,
not-
but it's a late
not
round
one.
pick.
This
No,
is
no,
12th
I know,
round.
I know.
Get out of here with your
I know.
fucking hair tie. You're gonna come in here looking like a princess telling me what I said.
Yeah, I'm the football princess.
Hell yeah. So Miles,
Look like you
yeah,
just got off a fucking boat.
Don't hate my boat, dude.
I love Christian Watson where you got him for your flex position. Dalton Kincaid, he could do well, he could not, and if he doesn't do well, you don't even
Personally,
need
I would have
to.
went Brandon Ayuk or Christian Kirk over Christian Watson at that point, but
You would take Ayuk over Christian Watson. Yeah, see, we're just so far apart. You just don't like Christian Watson. We already discussed that earlier on in this podcast, but it's fair.
well, I mean, everybody talks about how good Jordan Love is. Nobody drafted him.
Right, he is available.
I don't know that we really supported that he is going to be, but like there's,
Well,
we
if he's not
really.
good, Christian Watson's not good.
I think
It's a
he will
tandem.
support fantasy wide receivers. I don't know that he himself will be a massive fantasy asset. I think he'll be fine in real life. He honestly looked more mobile than maybe we were expecting. He's a guy who I expect will be signed off of free agency, even maybe barring a quarterback injury this season by one of us
Well,
in
I
week 1 or
foresee
2.
a lot of double teams on Christian Watson, which means a lot of interceptions thrown by Jordan Love because he's not used to it yet. And then I think Romeo Doubs is going to benefit from that.
I also agree with you that I think Romeo Doubs could be a massive value where he's being drafted
Why
currently.
is he obsessed with you?
I'm really good at dogs.
He also is
Because
puppy
you smell
fat
like
when we abandoned
you
him.
smell like bacon.
I keep
Oozes from your
taking
skin.
my cargo shorts all the time.
It's your sweat.
Yeah.
Cargo shorts and a Cowboys jersey, dude. I could have sworn you were Mexican
He's
today.
gonna fight me in the parking lot after
He
this.
left his sombrero in the car.
Spencer actually hired me to be on this podcast.
What you say about Cowboys, man?
But I'm a Raiders fan, so I'll just stab him.
Damn,
Okay.
you're that kind of Mexican. Holy shit.
And that's a good point to end this podcast on. I
With
think we
racism,
are.
yes.
Yeah, with racism, about an hour and a half in. I will
I don't
probably.
know if it's racist if a Mexican's called.
Yeah, it's fine. I'm calling out other Mexicans.
Well, you do have other Hispanic people saying way worse things on your own stages. So
yeah, exactly.
Very
And I'm
true.
not saying it on your podcast because then you'll be banned.
Detail what we're referring to.
No, we'll talk about it off mic. The mics are off and the cameras are off.
no, Miles, go ahead and tell us what.
Yeah,
'Cause
Miles
Miles was
Francis out of Dallas,
Say
Texas.
the N-word.
Was there a hard R? Just tell me that. Was there a hard R at the beginning or the end of the word?
Oh, we're not doing that one.
Anyways, I'm Jamie Jakes. This has been What Are We Talking About with Jamie Jakes. You can follow me at drjamiejakes on Instagram. You can follow me at JAMJKS on Twitter or X. And you can please subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. Tell us who won this draft, unless you think it wasn't me. Caleb B. Davis, tell them everything they need to know about you.
My name's Caleb B. Davis. You can follow me on Instagram at FunnyCBD or find me on Facebook at Caleb B. Davis. That's it from me. I made Jamie his hat for What Are We Talking About today?
This is a sweet hat. He made it custom for me.
And I'll be making better, nicer looking hats for Jamie to try to also.
I'll wait till you do your like 5th or 6th draft.
You can take that
There you
off
go,
to
yeah.
show it.
Yeah.
Can I?
Yeah.
The hat?
His face would be
Yeah, he looks like
No,
a
I got my
sane
bun
person.
in. You guys don't get what it's like. Anyways, Anthony Ramos, tell them everything.
You can find me at Reno's Chop Shop every Thursday night for open mic. Sign-ups at 8 o'clock, showtime 8:30. I have 2 shows coming up. The September 22nd Austin versus Dallas show. Spencer, you're on that show. And also November 4th, we're having Sam Miller in town. Spencer, you're on that show.
So he said he's going to win.
Yeah. Exactly. Because I'm paying him money. You can follow me on Instagram, Hey Ramos, HEYRAMOZ. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Spenser O'Neill.
I'll be on those shows that he said. You can, if you want to find out anything, I'm on Instagram at Spenser O'Neill with SPENSER, and you'll find me.
Yeah, you got a weird spelled name.
Yeah. You can check out my podcast at Every Theme Podcast. Jamie's been on it 3 times. Beat the shit out of us all 3 times.
Yeah.
No, not the ice bath. I think
Ice bath
we beat
was-
you up on that one.
Yeah.
You gave up pretty quick.
Did the worst numbers
I
out of.
sat in there for 20 minutes and I was like, we probably shouldn't have done that.
The ones where I beat you guys up did a lot better numbers on the YouTube.
Miles.
Miles Francis.
You can find me everywhere at Mr. Most Days Off, and if you're struggling, you can just wait till they announce the league champion in a few months. That'll be me. Thank you. I don't have enough of these in my face right now.
Thank you and good night.
Good night, everybody.